There are so many people.
Well,
Just ask
special
them what
needs
that is.
dyslexia.
There's a big difference between the summer and the kids are singing and stuff. You won't find as many parents.
She was
If the
behind
little
the kid's
kids
head.
sing, the parents just pour in, then it gets really hot.
You got a pair like that?
I guess that's why they get us water.
I'd like to call to order the September Poquoson City School Board meeting. And Marissa, could you do the introductions, please?
Sure. Our pledge leader tonight will be Kyle Cherry. Kyle is an Eagle Scout and a senior at Poquoson High School. He's hoping to either enter the Coast Guard or go to college to get his PhD in psychology. Kyle hopes to be a psychologist in either marriage counseling or PTSD. He has been in the Sound Station show choir for 2 years, and this is his first year with In the Pocket.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our inspirational leader tonight will be Elizabeth Marshall. Libby is also a senior at Poquoson High School and has been a member of In the Pocket for the past 2 years. Music is a passion for Libby, who writes and records music. She also sings and plays guitar in her church's band. She plans to pursue music therapy at either Randolph College or Radford University.
I'm going to read a poem called Attitude by an anonymous author. I woke up early today, excited over all I get to do before the clock strikes midnight. I have responsibilities to fulfill today. I am important. My job is to choose what kind of day I am going to have. Today I can complain because the weather is rainy, or I can be thankful that the grass is getting watered for free. Today I can feel sad that I don't have more money, or I can be glad that my finances encourage me to plan my purchases wisely and guide me away from waste. Today I can grumble about my health, or I can rejoice that I am alive. Today, I can lament over all that my parents didn't give me when I was growing up, or I can feel grateful that they allowed me to be born. Today, I can cry because roses have thorns, or I can celebrate that thorns have roses. Today, I can mourn my lack of friends, or I can excitedly embark upon a quest to discover new relationships. Today, I can whine because I have to go to work, or I can shout for joy because I have a job to do. Today, I can complain because I have to go to school, or eagerly open my mind and fill it with rich new tidbits of knowledge. Today I can murmur dejectedly because I have to do housework, or I can feel honored because the Lord has provided shelter for my mind, body, and soul. Today stretches ahead of me, waiting to be shaped, and I am the sculptor who gets to do the shaping. Today my attitude is the difference. I get to choose what kind of day I will have.
Thank you very much. Well done. Next up is going to be our student presentation, and I'd like to ask everybody to hang around for shortly after your presentation. We'll take a short intermission so we can come out and speak with you, if that's okay. Our student presentation tonight is In the Pocket, and that is a choral group comprised of 19 sophomores, juniors, and seniors at Poquoson High School. They regularly perform throughout the community for holiday functions, special events, and for retirement communities. They also represent Poquoson High School at choral competitions throughout the state. They have received excellent ratings and continue to improve their vocal quality year after year. Tonight they will perform All Ye Who Love Music, a new madrigal by Linda Spavacek. In the Pocket.
to music love, and would its pleasures prove. Come lads and lasses all, obey the tuneful call. La 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, come to us who cease not daily, cease not daily. From morn to eve we warble gaily, warble gaily. We warble, 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 warble gaily. We warble, 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 warble gaily. Fa la 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 la. Fa la 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 la. Fa la 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 la. Fa la 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 fa la 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 la.
Very nice. Very nice. I always enjoy hearing all of you sing. Mr. Bumbaugh, thank you very much for your work with these students. You do a fine job, sir. Appreciate it. Do we have any additions or modifications to the agenda?
We do not.
And is Miss Candace Myers, is she here tonight? Okay. Dr. Parrish?
Yes, as Mr. Carter, Dr. Carter moves to the podium, I'd like to ask Jessie Spencer to come forward, please. It is our pleasure this evening to recognize Jessie. She served as the school board student representative for the entire year last year. She did an outstanding job in her role as the student representative. Not only was she active as our school board rep, but she's active in so many facets of our high school. And as someone in the audience said before the meeting, I see Jessie everywhere because Jessie is busy doing so many things. And she is a wonderful young leader, and we look forward to hearing what she will do. But we are glad that we still have her at the high school for another year. So congratulations, Jessie, and thanks for all of your work.
Next is if I could get Mr. Yakshi from Kiwanis Club.
Good evening. My name is Steve Yakshi, and as the president of the Kiwanis Club of Poquoson, I'm representing the 130 members of our club that have worked selflessly over the year to embody the goals of Kiwanis International in improving the world one community and one child at a time. Through their efforts and the patrons of our various fundraisers, including the 3 big barbecue events, we find ourselves in the enviable position of having a surplus of funds as our Kiwanis year comes to a close. So, understanding one of the most pressing needs of our community, the Kiwanis board has chosen to increase our support to our schools. This year, we will have provided over $16,000 to the school system and its students. In addition, we have partnered with the Poquoson Education Foundation to launch the inaugural Poquoson Seafood Festival 5K Run 2-mile walk to be held on October 5th, with all proceeds going to the school system and its students. So with the excess funds from this year, we have given $1,000 to our high school's Distributive Education Club of America chapter. In addition, tonight I'm here to give $1,000 to each of the school principals as seed money for a fund that will help students in need. On behalf of our members, we are extremely pleased to be able to provide this funding. So if I could have the principals come up here in no particular order, but you'll figure out the order anyway. Janet Harper, see here. Poquoson Primary School. Here. Also, Barbara Wood from our elementary school. Barbara. And Todd Pirelli from middle school. Figure out what order it's in yet? Thanks. And finally, Bernie Wright from our high school. We're very happy to be able to provide this to help our students here in the school system that needs it. So.
Thank you, Mr. Yakshi, and please let Kiwanians know at your next meeting that we really appreciate it, and all that you do, not just for the school system, but for Poquoson in general. It's a wonderful organization, so thank you for all your work. Now let's take a brief intermission, and then we'll come back.
I did.
We cleared the room like we always
What did I do with
Oh,
it?
yeah. Good stuff over. Can we leave now?
Don't know.
The fun stuff's over with. Everybody leaves.
I did it. I printed it out. Then it grew up. It's true.
Don't pay attention
Why don't you
anyway.
take the kids away? I appreciate it. Have the parents go with them. Now they have to go.
If not, we'll just put them here. I'll just have them come here.
Okay, next we'll move into our presentations and reports. And first up, I would like to invite Mr. Bert Schmidt, representing WHRO.
Yes.
That'd be great.
thanks.
Mr. Chairman, Dr. Parrish, members of the board, thank you for allowing me to speak with you today. My name is Bert Schmidt. I'm the president and CEO of WHRO, and I've brought with me Brian Callahan, who's my education officer, so if you ask anything really tough, I've got backup. I'm here tonight, and we come to you every 2 years because you're one of the 19 school divisions that actually own WHRO. It's the only model of its kind in the entire country where a collaboration of 19 school divisions actually own the station. Back in 1961, 2 school divisions, Hampton and Norfolk, got together and created Homeroom 1. Homeroom 1 became WHRO. So we've been providing services to the schools for over 50 years now. And I come to you today just to give you a summary of the services that we provided Poquoson over the past school year. So I believe all of you, I hope all of you have an annual impact statement at your desks. And I'm going to just go through this briefly. If you want to go in more detail some night when you can't sleep, you're welcome to. But we'll just run through some of this very briefly. On page 1, we identified those folks we work closely with. Of course, Robin Sidner is your representative at the WHRO Education Advisory Council. That is the ownership body for the station. So, Robin, we thank you for all of your effort. Of course, Dr. Parrish works with all the superintendents in helping set the strategic direction for WHRO when it comes to education. And Dr. Cataldo works with our Technology Advisory Council and many other councils helping WHRO in its quest to serve you best. Moving on in the report, I go to page 2, and we start off with our educator resources and training. We provide your school division with 2 digital media on-demand services. Now, you've been using for the past decade or so a service called Discovery Education Streaming, DE Streaming. This is video on demand. A teacher brings up on the monitor this service, and they can type in keyword search and SOL search, and they have a library of over 50,000 video clips that are made available to your teachers. You can see in the report there it was used over 3,700 times this past year. It is used statewide. It has been used extensively throughout the entire Commonwealth. But our schools came to us a few years back, and they said, we're a little concerned because Discovery is starting to become expensive. The product it's Discovery television programming, so it's becoming less valuable in the classroom. So we created a system called eMedia VA. You now have eMedia VA in your school division. It is a free digital media on-demand service. It is not only video, but it's audio, lesson plans, quizzes, apps, anything that you can digitize. And not only is it national content, but we have great local partnerships with organizations throughout the Commonwealth, providing more content to your teachers than they've ever had the experience in the past. All of your teachers have eMedia VA accounts, and we hope they will spend this year learning about the new system and how it's used within Virginia. It is, I should mention to you, last year we received a contract from the Virginia Department of Education. This is now their recommended resource for digital content in the classroom. And just last week, we received an award from the governor, ironically, for the best use of innovative technology in education. So we have been acknowledged at the Department of Education and really statewide now as this eMedia VA service is critically important to teachers. It is a portal that allows organizations from throughout Virginia and really national organizations, we're meeting with SeaWorld in 2 weeks, to have great content available for your teachers at no cost. So hopefully this is a good year where your teachers will transition over to eMedia VA, and we're very excited. We have over 100,000 educators throughout the state that have eMedia VA now in their classrooms. I should also mention number 2 on page 2, the single sign-on integration. This would allow eMedia VA to be connected into your school network. When it's appropriate and you'd like that done, we will do that for you at no charge. Schools outside of Hampton Roads, we charge them for that about $4,000 or so. Of course, as an owner of ours, whenever you want it, you give us a call, we'll get it set up for you. A good number of schools in the region and many schools outside the region have already set up this single sign-on integration. Just makes it easier for teachers to get access. They don't have to log in another time into the system. So that's available for you upon request. Item number 3 is our teacher line service. This is online professional development. We offer courses in units of 5, 10, 15, 30, and 45 hours. Teachers throughout the Commonwealth use this service to get graduate credit and recertification. 7 of your teachers took one of our teacher line courses in the past year. Moving on to page 3, our student services. As you all probably know by now, this year's freshman class have a new requirement. They have to take an online course in order to graduate. Well, this is our school superintendents fortunately saw this coming down the road a long time ago, and they asked WHRO to create online courses for you. So we have done that. We have created for you 22 core curriculum high school courses. You can see the list in paragraph 2 of all the courses. We've built the courses. We've handed them back to you to do whatever you would like to do with the courses. I can tell you last school year, you had a teacher that took 2 sections in a blending learning model. Over the summer, you had students in an online learning model with one of your teachers. Both times they scored extremely high on the WISE financial literacy exams. I should mention these were economics and personal finance courses. And this year it's my understanding that you have at least 7 sections in a blended learning module with 4 different teachers taking the economics and personal finance course as well. So we've also developed a number of apps for you as well, and you see you get that as being a member, you get that all free of charge. We are selling those courses statewide now at about $10,000 a pop, but of course you get those at no cost. Item number 2 on page 3 is Virtual Virginia Advanced Placement School. We have been operating that for the Department of Education for over a decade now. You had 45 students that took either advanced placement or world language courses through this online service, courses like Latin, Chinese, Arabic, and all the advanced placement courses. And so you can see for a fairly small school division, you had a lot of students taking these online Virtual Virginia courses. Moving on to page 4 of 17, I'll just skip to item number 4. The Great Computer Challenge is a long time competition that we've had that allows students K-12 to show off their expertise in various computer applications. You can see you had a number of teams at the elementary as well as high school level. Desktop publishing, graphic design, internet scavenge hunt, Java, and graphic design. And your teams did quite well at this year's Great Computer Challenge. I congratulate you for the great work that your students did representing Poquoson. Moving on to page 5, item number 7, Tech Trek and Tech Trek the Next Generation. We provide in-person training sessions for teachers to help teachers use technology in the classroom. This past year, 2 of your teachers took advantage of that opportunity, which was this past summer. I should also mention, and hopefully you occasionally watch WHRO, item number 8, we have our Education Now interstitials, and Dr. Parrish has been on my air quite a bit lately, talking about the reduction, the funding cuts that the schools have faced, and especially the challenges with a small school division. So she's a star in my air, and if you haven't seen it yet, hopefully you'll turn on and see her, but she did a great job on the air for us. And then I'm going to skip again to page 8 very briefly. We offer a large number of children and family services. You can see the full list. We're hoping Poquoson will want to take advantage of more of these. It costs you nothing, but they are available. Item under number 12, our Raising Readers van. This is a van that we come out to elementary schools for the kids. It's got all the great PBS characters, Big Bird and Elmo and all the like on the van. And inside the van, we give books away. So fact, this year we gave 72 first books to some of the children at the Poquoson Primary School. And then, of course, as board members, what you most care about is your return on investment, and that I'll take you to page 9. You can see your investment in WHRO is just shy of $8,000, and you can see that value in savings. And when you add in especially those online courses, you're looking at over $385,000 of value. We do hope you like that return on your investment. And with that, that's my report, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, sir. Does anybody have questions for Mr. Schmidt? Comments? Anything? Okay, thank you very much, sir. I appreciate what you do for us.
Thank you.
Next up will be our financial update with Mr. Bowen. Caught you by surprise.
Good evening, Chairman Carter, school board members, and Dr. Parrish. I'd like to begin the finance report this evening with addressing a couple of items that I mentioned to you at the August meeting. First, the Virginia Local Disability Program. Since our last meeting, we've done a number of things as we approach a deadline here in November. We have talked to some other school divisions. We've talked to our city government. We've taken the plans that are before us, and we have sent them to our benefits consultant to have an independent review of the plans. What we will do is we will have an overview of the plans and a recommendation for the board in October. Also, I mentioned in August that the school division had applied for a school equipment security grant. This was a grant that came from the state. School divisions were eligible to receive up to $100,000, and grants would be awarded on a competitive basis. I'm pleased to report that Poquoson City Schools has been awarded $47,040 for projects at Poquoson High School and Poquoson Middle School. I think it also should be noted that a lot of the kudos here should go to Mr. Pappas, who spent a lot of time identifying the projects at each of our schools, and then also costing these projects out. And as a result of his reward, he gets to oversee these projects. Congratulations. And finally, the audit has kicked in full gear again. The auditors are here with us. We expect that they'll be with us through the end of the month. We'll have a final report sometime at the end of November, and we will present the final report to the board at their December meeting. And that's my finance report this evening.
Thank you, sir. Does anybody have questions for Mr. Bowen?
No, I have a comment, though. It seems like Mr. Pappas, that no good deed goes unpunished. So congratulations on getting the grant.
Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome, $47,000. Do we have any idea exactly what those projects will be at the high school and middle school?
Yes, at the high school, we had identified some need for two-way radios and surveillance equipment and cameras.
Okay.
We'd also, at the middle school, we had identified a visitor badging system, two-way radios, and an electronic access control system at our doors, similar to what we have at the primary and the high school.
Right. Now, is the $47,000 going to take care of all that, or close?
The $47,000 will take care of those projects. There is a component to that that we have to fund. It's 25%. It's less than $12,000, and we will have to have those funds available in order to receive these funds. We're still waiting for information from the state exactly which projects at the high school and at the middle school they have specifically identified as our projects, but those were the projects that we had submitted for approval.
Great. Anybody else? Thank you, sir. That's good news. And Mr. Pappas with our operations update.
Good evening, Chairman Carter, School Board, Dr. Parrish. In the area of security and safety, we are required by the DOE to do many things, as you well know, but in the first 4 weeks of school, each school must complete a fire drill each and every week of the first 4 weeks. And all of our schools are in compliance thus far as we're going through the third week of school. Additionally, we have scheduled all of our drills, and we're in the process of conducting the required lockdown drill for this month. In the area of food services, I had mentioned that we have a new prepaid meal plan account called My School Bucks. And I'm pleased to report that 156 families have decided to avail themselves of that, and they've deposited over $9,800 year to date. It makes it convenient for children. They don't have to carry cash. They don't have to do that, and it works through their student account. In the area of transportation, you've heard me speak fondly and laudably about our software that we have. Last week, it paid great dividends again when there was an emergency on one of our streets that involved life rescue and fire. And it happened right in the middle of student take-home. And with the advent of this software, in a few keystrokes, we knew every child, all their phone numbers, from the stops that we had yet to drop off to the impacted area. And we were able to quickly, with the help of the principals and their staff, transportation was able to quickly corral everybody and take care of notification. And I just can't tell you how exciting that was to be able to do that. Before we used to use the coffee table method, I'd still be working that out if we hadn't had the software. And then lastly, in the area of transportation, each year among many other requirements of the DOE, I have to do a traffic control plan and school review and reassessment. I have to sign off on that, and it'll be reviewed when the DOE comes, transportation comes. So we looked at all of our drop-offs in the morning, the first week of school, and we made several changes that will enhance student safety as they offload buses at the schools. The principals were very helpful. So that's my operations report.
Thank you, sir. Questions, Mr. Pappas, or comments there? I'm glad you have that software. I'm sure that was a huge headache that was quickly resolved right off the bat. I was caught in that emergency, and I was wondering what you guys are doing, but I appreciate your flexibility and your promptness in getting those things taken care of. So thank you very much, Mr. Pappas.
Well, thank you, and the principals stopped everything they were doing. Their office staff stopped everything they're doing. The transportation support that I have, everybody just knew what their role was and performed beautifully. So I was just the benefactor of their work.
Thank you,
Thank
sir. Next up, we'll have Ms. Colley with the instructional update.
Good evening, Dr. Carter, members of the board, Dr. Parrish. It's not often that we're presenting to you the same day things are released from VDOE, but today was the final release on federal accountability reports, and so all of our state report cards are now uploaded on VDOE. So tonight I'm going to take some time to just update you on what that means for Poquoson. And you'll remember this slide. We've used it the last couple of years as a reminder of the two accountability systems we work under. One, state accreditation. We spoke last month and talked about the fact that Poquoson is preliminarily accredited for all state accreditation. And tonight I want to talk a little bit about our federal accreditation, our meeting of our annual measurable objectives. Now these are based on new targets for reading and math. You'll recall that we had new AMOs that were recent as 2 months ago for our English performance, and the Federal Graduation Index. And I'm happy to tell you that Poquoson City Public Schools as a division met all annual measurable objectives this year. It's something we should be proud of. We're going to spend some time this evening looking a little deeper into that federal accountability. So just as a refresher, the AMO rates will rise each year as we try to get closer and closer to high achievement for all our students. AMOs are subject to being adjusted by the Virginia Department of Education. It's interesting to note that the reading rates were impacted by our brand new test last spring, but to also note that our math tests continue to be impacted by the new tests, or math results rather, continue to be impacted by that new test that now we're 2 years into and we're working with. Another thing, and we're going to go into some detail later on this evening, that we're dealing with this year, though, is some new higher expectations provisions, and we'll talk about those in just a moment. But let's look at our division first and the scope of this. Poquoson City Public Schools, as a division, met all 44 annual measure objectives that they had to meet. The high school met all 39. The elementary school met all 36. And the middle school met 35 of 36 AMOs. The one AMO that the middle school did not meet was the AMO in math for students with disabilities, and they only missed this because of the new higher expectations provisions by the state. This is a no backslide rule, and I just want us all to remember that these higher expectations are not a result of the federal flexibility and the waiver. These are a result of our state having higher expectations than the federal government has asked us to have. We would have met the AMO using the 3-year average. However, under the new provisions, we did not. I'm going to go into further detail with the board this evening during our work session, and our principals have already begun working with their schools at back-to-school nights, sharing data with the specific schools and what this means for the individual schools. The other piece of data I want to share with you this evening is about our career and technical education. We spent a lot of time last spring. We had multiple presentations, you'll remember, with the 3D copier and lots of credentialing going on. And it's my pleasure to report some of those results to you tonight on our CTE credentials. Last year, we awarded students earned 162 career and technical education credentials. Out of that, they received 94 industry certifications, 48 workplace readiness skills assessments were passed, and 17 National Occupational Competency Testing Institute assessments were passed. In addition, 3 state licensures were earned. Well done for our CTE students. And in data world, as we are every year this time, we haven't released all of the data. The state hasn't, and College Board has not. So I want to just remind you that coming soon, you will see some press release on AP and SAT data. That's September 26th. So I'll be updating you on that. You can expect next month. And then on October 8th, Virginia Department of Education is going to release the the cohort graduation and dropout rates. So you can anticipate presentations on that in the coming month. And that is my instructional update, the beginning of the federal data, and also a nice look at our career and technical education credentials. Questions?
Thank you, ma'am. I have questions. Nice job that the teachers did prepping all the students. I mean, that's an amazing achievement. And that backslide rule is, I'll be interested to talk about that in the work session. It's crazy. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, please, Mr. Cass.
Can you tell me again what WRS, workforce?
Oh, yes, but I'll tell you exactly. So workplace readiness, not workforce, workplace readiness skills.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
And Mr. Cass, could you please take us through our consent agenda, please?
Sure. The following items are enclosed in the board packet. Item A, approval of financial reports. Item B, approval of personnel action. Item C, authorization to dispose of surplus property. Item D, authorization to accept and expend funds in accordance with the attached request.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
And the second?
Second.
And Ms. McDowell, could you call for a vote, please?
Ms. Rollins?
Aye.
Mr. Hucks?
Aye.
Ms. Sidner? Aye. Mr. Melton?
Aye.
Mr. Cast?
Aye.
Chairman Carter?
Aye.
The motion passed by a vote of 6-0.
And then other matters for consideration. First up is consideration of approval of the August board minutes, regular and work session. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
And the second?
Second.
Any discussion there? Ms. McDowell, could you call for a vote, please?
Ms. Rollins?
Aye.
Mr. Hucks?
Aye.
Ms. Sidner? Aye. Mr. Melton?
Aye.
Mr. Cast?
Aye.
Chairman Carter?
Abstain.
The motion passed by a vote of 5-0.
Thank you. And next up is consideration of approval of a proclamation for Virginia Disability History and Awareness Month. And what I have here, and it talks about all children are worthy of the best efforts to support and educate them, and the teachers really work day by day, day in and day out, year after year, to inspire and challenge each student. And the community supports our schools and all children to achieve at their highest levels. And do we have a motion to approve Virginia Disability History and Awareness Month proclamation?
A motion we approve Virginia Disability History and Awareness Month proclamation.
And the second?
Second.
Any comments there, discussion? Ms. McDowell, could you call for a vote, please?
Ms. Rollins?
Aye.
Mr. Hucks?
Aye.
Ms. Sidner? Aye. Mr. Melton?
Aye.
Mr. Cast?
Aye.
Chairman Carter?
Aye.
The motion passed by a vote of 6-0.
Thank you. Is there any public comment?
No, sir, there is not.
Thank you. And we'll move into our communications. Dr. Parrish, would you kick us off, please?
Yes. First, I'd like to welcome Gwen Lee is with us this evening, and she is our new military liaison. So she works with the schools and also with our military families. She was in this position previously, so she may be a familiar face to some folks. I know I had the pleasure of working with her in the past, and we've already connected over a couple things, and we're excited to have her on board. And we think it's important for us to have that liaison because we do serve a number of military families and military-connected families. So we thank her for the service that she does on their behalf. Thank you. I also just want to add my thanks to our principals, assistant principals, teachers, all of our staff for the work that they have done over the past school year. We did meet many of those AMOs during the past year, and it was a lot of that hard work. As you can see, it's a very complicated system. We will be talking further about the provisions that the state have added to the system, including the new backslide rule. And I know the principals are also speaking about that when they do their presentations at the back to school night, because I think it's important for our community to understand that layer that the state of Virginia has put upon us, certainly as we move through future years. I also want to just further state on behalf of PEF and the Kiwanis that they are running that 5K run. I know there's a lot of volunteers in our community working on that right now, and all of those funds will ultimately come to our schools. So I do hope that our community support us, and my understanding is I think we have a little competition between the schools right now in terms of participation. So we're looking forward to a fun event on October 5th. And finally, very important that we have Child Find, which is coming up on Thursday. It runs from 10 to 7. It's at Trinity Methodist Church on Poquoson Avenue, and it provides free developmental checks for all children under 5. So we encourage our community members who have children under 5 to please come by and see us. We have a lot of school staff there and some assistance from outside resources, and it's a fun event for the kids. And then the parents can get some information, and sometimes we're able to actually discover that we need to start providing some services to children. So please bring your children out at between 10 and 7. And those are my comments for this evening.
Thank you very much. Marissa.
Good evening. All our schools are off to a great start and have many activities planned for the students this year. This morning at the primary school, they celebrated Constitution Day by rallying around the flagpole to say the Pledge of Allegiance and hear the national anthem performed by a PHS trumpet player. The elementary school teachers are back and working hard on the balanced literacy model that the elementary school shares with the primary school, and the two schools are continuing to work together for the success of their students. The elementary school is anxious to get the year moving. They had their back-to-school night last Thursday, September 12th, and had an excellent parent turnout. Last Friday, September 13th, the PTO began their fundraising, and just a short time later, they already had over 500 PTO members. At the middle school, Mr. Pirelli would like to thank everyone for an amazing start to this school year. Their clubs have started, and students should listen to the announcements to hear the dates and locations of the clubs. September 19th will be picture day for the elementary school, and the students will be taken out of their gym classes in order to get their pictures taken. The magazine fundraiser will also kick off on the 19th as well. And PMS's back to school night will be held on September 19th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. At the high school, the homecoming dance will be October 12th at 8 p.m. On October 16th, sophomores and juniors will have PSAT testing. And this year, the homecoming parade and game will be October 11th. The parade starts at 3 and the game starts at 7. That concludes my announcements for this evening.
Thank you very much. Ms. Rollins?
I don't have anything.
Okay. Mr. Hucks?
Thank you, Dr. Carter. No comment tonight.
Ms. Sidner?
I'd like to thank Mr. Smith and Mr. Callahan for coming out from WHRO. It's nice to see them travel on this side of the water rather than us going over there. So that was nice for an update of you can see the services they provide and how Poquoson uses the services for the annual fees that we pay. Would like to say I enjoyed the chorus as usual. Very beautiful voices, and want to thank the principals for a very smooth start to the school year, it sounds like.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Melton?
I'd like to thank the Kiwanis Club. I think that was a fantastic organization doing some really good work, and they have the best barbecue in town, so when that Saturday rolls around, please support them. Other than that, I'll be at a career and technical education meeting in Richmond on the 17th of October. We'll be looking at results for our benchmark study for setting career and tech education industry credentials across the state. So we want to receive the results of a pretty large report we've been working on for about 9 months now. So maybe I'll have something to tell you later about that. That's it.
Thank you. Mr. Cass?
I'd like to echo some comments, especially the Kiwanis Club and a very large Kiwanis Club that does amazing work in our community. And I'd like to thank the Poquoson Education Foundation and all the volunteers that work very hard to assist the community and the schools in the efforts. And commend again the staff and teachers and administrators for a very smooth opening of school. And I'd like to commend Mr. Pappas for his extra efforts in communicating with parents and resolving issues that came up, and we are very appreciative of your efforts. Thank you.
Yeah, I've heard several people talked about a smooth start to the school year. I've heard from numerous people about what a smooth start to the school year we had this year. And that stuff doesn't just happen. It takes a lot of preparation, a lot of planning, and a lot of hard work up front to make it go like that. So I appreciate everybody's work, and sounds like you guys did a great job there. Outstanding CTE achievements, overall. I mean, I thought that was phenomenal. And Ms. Lee, thank you again for being here with us. And I definitely want to mention that we are missing a member tonight, Ms. Whitaker. If you're out there listening, I hope you recover quickly from your surgery, ma'am. And Mr. Bowen, good luck on your audit. I know that's a crazy time, and you guys are hopping all the time anyway, but especially when you have auditors breathing down your necks. But I'm sure everything is going to go great, as always. But thanks to everybody out there for all the hard work you do for our kids. And do we have any material for board review?
No, not this evening.
Okay, with that, we will adjourn to our work session. Thank you.